Oscar, how was the break? What did you get up to?
It was a great break. Went away in Asia with the club. We did a trip to Cambodia, did a little bit of extra travelling around there, and then came back and cracked into a bit of training, which has been awesome.
What sort of training you've been doing thus far?
I had a little bit of a rehab with my knee, which I had towards the end of last year. And then I've just been joining in training, so I'll be doing some drills out here today and just kind of building in, so when the main group comes back I'll be in most of the drills and ready to play as soon as the season starts.
You're still a little bit hampered or restricted in what you can do with the knee?
I probably won't do everything. Today I probably won't be doing everything, but it's nothing serious. By Christmas I'll be all guns blazing, so it's nothing to worry about.
What did you actually do to the knee again last season, and how did you have to rehab it?
I just had a little bit of a meniscus issue with it. Towards the end of last year I carried it for a period of time, and then probably couldn't get up and wasn't recovering as well at the end of last year. Just had a little bit of surgery just to clean it out, but it's feeling really good at the moment.
What was it like for you playing so many games last season but then missing out when it came finals time?
Obviously disappointing, but I know that my form probably wasn't as good as it could have been, as well as with the injury there was a number of different circumstances, and the people that came in and played were terrific. I think Jake Waterman had a ripper year front to end, but really played well in the AFL side when the season finished up.
What was it like having to carry an injury into games? Is that the first time you've ever managed that?
I don't know. I think everyone in the AFL is pretty sore week in, week out. Obviously, it's different kind of soreness, but it wasn't anything serious. We got some great physio staff, so every time they managed me throughout the week. So when I was playing, I didn't really have any issues whatsoever.
What focuses will you have this pre-season for basketball? What do you need to work on?
First and foremost, just getting back into full training, I suppose, with all the guys, and then building relationships. We've got some new players here. We'll draft some guys in the coming weeks, and then personally probably just putting on a bit more size and getting my body ready so I can play out a whole year, hopefully.
Craig Vozzo said you'd do a bit of training with both the forward group and the defensive group. Will you do any ruck work as well? Is that still a possibility for you in 2020?
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. I haven't seen Simo or asked any of the coaching staff, but I played a lot of forward and back in my time, and even the ruck work, I wasn't doing any of it this time last year, and ended up playing a bit of ruck in the senior side. So whatever position I get asked to play, I'll just jump in and give it a crack.
You said earlier you've grown about 3 centimetres since starting in the AFL. Do you feel like you're genuine key position size now?
Yeah, I think so. I think I've always looked at myself that way. I think in under-18s coming up I played that way. And yeah, I think it allows me to now play. Obviously physically I need to put on more weight and get stronger, but height-wise I never thought it was a real issue.
How excited is the group to have a player of the calibre of Tim Kelly coming on board?
Yeah, we're stoked. He's in a training today. I think he'll be out here doing a couple of drills with us, and he looks in great nick, and he's a ripping bloke. A couple of us met him 2 years ago when we were all doing the draft together. We're all at the combine, and we know the quality of player he is and the talent he'll bring to the side.
Have you rubbed shoulders with him yet? Have you seen him inside there at the moment?
Yeah, we saw him. I was actually in the day that the trade went through, and he was in at the club, so I got to say g'day to him and see how he was going, but he seems to have settled really nicely back home.
Is he here ahead of schedule? Because is he considered part of that first 4-year group, even though he's a mature age player who's been top 10 in Brownlow?
Yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest. I think probably a bit of both. Obviously he's come over here, so he's got other things going on, but I'm sure it's probably on him that he wanted to come in and train with us boys and really get to know us.
What's it like adding a genuine A grade or a star of the competition to an already formidable list?
Yeah, you don't really think about it too much, I suppose. You can only play who you've got, and one thing we're really big on is playing our role. So we've seen guys, even in 2018, Dom Sheed wasn't playing because he didn't fit into the system we had. We're just all about playing our role, and I'm sure Tim will fill in and fit into our midfield really well.
How do you feel with the comment made to Liam Ryan and his family on social media the other day?
Obviously, as a club, we're really disappointed. It's really sad that in this modern day there's still people that have these mindsets, but we've just got Liam's back and we're going to support him as much as he can. The club's informed the AFL and they're looking into it. Just as a playing group, I think it's just important we support him, and especially our fans as well. Liam's a really good family man and a great person, so it's really sad that he has to deal with anything like that.
Do you have a view on what should happen to these people? Like, should they be educated, or do you think they need to be maybe banned or suspended from going to AFL footy?
Probably educating people is probably a big thing, but it's not my place to say. Obviously, I don't want it to happen. We love Liam, we love all our Indigenous players. They're a great part of our culture here. But yeah, I don't have a say in terms of I don't think this should happen or that should happen. It's going to be handled by people higher up than me.
It's not the first time it's happened. It can obviously take a pretty big mental toll on people. How's he coping?
Yeah, he's good. He's in good spirits. He'll be out here training today. Catched up with him and had a chat about it. Obviously, him himself is disappointed, but he knows, and he's pretty thick-skinned. He's been through a lot in his life. Came from somewhere where he wasn't thought about he'd have a life like this playing AFL footy, and he's got great support with the club. The club has some great foundations and networks to make sure that if anything like that does come up, we're here to support him and help him as much as possible.
Do you think it's just taking it one step too far, targeting his baby?
Yeah. I think any form of racial vilification is taking it too far. I don't think it should matter whether it's towards a child or him. They're all lovely people, and we've got great friends here at the club who are Indigenous players, and we've had them for ever since the start of the Eagles, so we're really disappointed in it.
Has anyone been in touch with Willie Rioli? Oscar, have you spoken to him and know how he's going?
I haven't spoken to Willie. No, he's up in Tiwi, I think, with his family. Again, the club's supporting him as much as they can. I'm sure a lot of the boys that are a little bit closer with him have spent some time with him, but from all reports, he's in good spirits. What's
the view the club takes, or the playing list takes, of last season? Do you feel like it was an opportunity missed, or do you feel like it was a good effort, a good premiership defence? What's the attitude towards it?
Obviously, we're probably disappointed. We want to be as successful as we can, and we've got the goal of winning as many games as we can. This year, we're just going to go out there and obviously we're here now. We just want to train as hard as we can and then get our list in good shape. But yeah, probably disappointed with how this season ended in total.
When you look back at the two seasons between the premiership season, obviously not as heavily involved that year compared to last year. When you look at the back two now with a bit more perspective, what was missing between the two?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think we started off our premiership season better. Last year we probably lacked, not hunger, but we probably weren't playing as well earlier in the year, and it always felt like we didn't quite put a full game together. We had some really good spurts of football where we played really well, but then towards the end of the year just missed some opportunities, losing to Collingwood by a point, then losing to the Tigers by under a goal at the MCG, and then not making the four all probably damaged the team's morale.
What's the team hoping to do different this year?
I'm not sure yet. I haven't seen Simo or caught up with him, but obviously we want to win. I mean, in the end we want to win the flag, and that's what we want to do. But right now we're just focusing on training with all us young boys and getting ready, so when the senior players come back in a couple of weeks, we're all on the same level.
Just back on Tim Kelly, as someone who plays forward predominantly, how excited are you to know that you're going to be leading to someone like him?
Yeah, well, Tim's an excellent user of the ball, and I think all of our midfielders are. Luke Shuey, Jack Red and Elliot Yo, they all use the ball well and look after us, so yeah, just excited to have him out there, and seems like a ripping bloke, so can't wait to get to know him more off field as well.
And in terms of premiership hopes, how much can one player really boost that? We all know how classy he is. How much kind of extra impetus does he give you guys?
Yeah, again, not too sure. Like, it's hard to put someone into a side and say they'll make your team that much better. As we said, we're just focusing. Tim's going to be out here and we're all going to train together. Hopefully we'll build some really good relationships, and we're still 4 or 5 months away from the first game, so we're just focusing on training and getting as fit as we can.